one more win for the day or for the week or for the year. We just finished hauling out some silage on kind of two high maintenance fields here. As of the next couple hours, we're on borrowed time. I don't think we're gonna have too many more windows to haul this or to start any new fields of hauling silage or even some tillage here for maybe a little while. Anyways, I'm just about to hop up and put the first tank of diesel in the tank. Let's see how she does. Fueling. Well, that might be the first thing I don't like about this telehandler. The way the neck is designed, it won't let me go full bore on the old diesel fuel. It's always something. We can almost do like a gas station guessing game. How many liters will this fill without checking on the old Google? For our American friends, gallons. Any guesses? We used to all just pitch in $5 and hope for the best. But if you were lucky enough to have one other friend, that'd be $10. I don't know if $10 in fuel would even get you to town now. At $50 a liter, Canadian dollars, a quarter of a liter, I don't think that'll get you out the driveway. Poor kids. So this machine does have DEF fluid, and we've probably put 30 some hours on it, and the DEF fluid hasn't even gone down a quarter yet. It sips the DEF, which is good, or the government juice, whichever way you want to put it. Still pumping. Oh, done pumping. Using the old calculator here. I find this hilarious. Did anyone else's teacher, when they were in school, elementary, junior high, high school, say you would never be carrying a calculator around in your pocket? I'm pretty sure everybody's heard that. So not only are we carrying calculators around in our pocket, we could just go, hey Google, what's 6650 minus 6533? So that was just where the pump meter was set. So we burnt 117 liters thanks to the Google machine. So not only can we carry a calculator in our pocket, we don't even have to type anything into it. We can just say, hey Google. I don't even have to press a button to say, hey Google, or Siri, or Sam, or Delilah. Anyway, pretty funny. So out of just shy of 500 bales, we burnt 117 liters of fuel. In this machine, I think that's quite impressive with a front wheel assist of 120, 140 horsepower, somewhere in there, which is a typical loader tractor or utility tractor. So that was 0.23 of a liter per bale. So that is a bit of collecting in the field, chasing the Kenny and the 53-foot trailer around, as well as loading them. So some of our bales were stacked, some weren't. So average it out, it was about a quarter of a liter per bale. A liter, in all honesty, without any jokes, a liter of fuel, like dyed diesel right now, is about $1.40, $1.35 per liter. So when we're, you know, you're talking about how much it costs to run equipment. You know, if you are, let's say $1.40, we're about 30 to 35 cents in fuel to collect and load a bale. If we were to be running a higher horsepower tractor with a bale wagon, well, those things are burning probably 20 to 30 liters an hour. And yeah, you might get 100 bales an hour. Wow. Yeah, you might in a perfect field, but nevertheless, this thing, I couldn't be more impressed with it so far. We're actually going to be swapping it out here on Monday. Noble Equipment sold this unit, so we need to run it back to the dealer, and they're going to give us a different one. They said, let's try one size up. So this is a 532-6. We're going to be trying a 542-something. I don't remember the reach. That last dash measurement is the amount of telescoping length that it has. I cringe at the day one of these telehandlers leave our farm for good. This thing has been an eye-opener, and thank you, Noble, for letting us demo it and stand behind your promise to let us try one out this fall. I gotta go pitch a tent. My daughter has some friends over this weekend, and they're spending the night. So they've been talking all summer about wanting to sleep in the trapper's tent on a sleepover, and well, with the snowstorm that's brewing, heading our way, well, it's kind of one of the last good nights maybe to do such a thing. So my dad and I just set up the trapper's tent for these girls, or maybe it's for me. My wife wants me out of the house. I'm not sure I want to be around the screaming girl slumber party, a bunch of 7-year-old girls running around. Check this out. I guess these are my living quarters here for the night. Let me show you guys around, give you the $100 tour here. I will be curled up right here beside the stove. And well, you can see it all right here from the door. So wish me luck, guys. I'm not sure if I'm in that tent with a bunch of screaming kids, or if I'll be there by myself and my wife will have the kids inside. But either way, wish me luck. Morning, guys. It's a cold, wet morning and a sad morning. The 53260. She's loaded up, heading back to NoTill Equipment. It's a sad day because they sold this unit and I gotta give it back. But on the upside of things, they asked me questions like what I liked and didn't like about it, and you know, there wasn't really much I didn't like, but in the end they said, well, that one's sold, let's get you into a one size up. So anyway, we're going to Olds in Olds, Alberta today at NoTill Equipment. We're gonna be dropping off this unit and exchanging it for one size bigger. I love this thing. It's kind of changed my world on material handling. So whoever bought it, you're gonna love it. Not only are we driving the telehandler back, via Kenny, back to Olds, Alberta, but we are gonna kill two birds with one stone and go check out the Agri-Trade trade show up in Red Deer. Our mission this year is to try and find a replacement NoTill drill for the John Deere that we're running right now, and we want to increase some technology and some size and see what else is out there. I'm not sure there will be any on display at Agri-Trade. If there is, that's great. We'll be taking a look at them and showing you guys. Going to Agri-Trade's cool, but what's even cooler than that is we are traveling to Germany in a couple days and going to Agritechnica. So super cool experience. We've got a lot of pretty neat things planned on that trip. You guys are going to want to stay tuned for that little video series of that trip. So we are going to scour the world, starting with Red Deer, Alberta, and then heading to Germany, as well as a couple other destinations over there in the UK, to try and find a replacement drill. We are going to be very, very picky with this purchase. We want a no-till drill, and we want it to check all of the boxes that we need checked. Today's just a warm-up. Agri-Trade is just a warm-up. Stay tuned. Agritechnica, Germany, and a couple other countries over there are going to have a lot in store for you. It's a sad day. I hate to see that thing go back. I wish we could afford to keep it. She gone. Thanks, Adam. Waiting in line to get into Agri-Trade. I wonder if Noble's gonna be here. Hope they're gonna let Kenny come through the passenger car entrance. Bobtail and Kenny to the egg show. Nobody will mind, it took up 4 spots. Who's that? He's right here, the famous guy. He's at the NoTill Equipment booth. Imagine that. Pretty good video. He's pretty handsome though. That's all I got. So not a lot of video in here today. There was a big motivation and interest to try and find some no-till drill stuff here at the Ag Show in Red Deer. However, this is all we could find, which is pretty neat. A local company built out of Saskatchewan, Canada, called Pillar, and they make a very, very stout toolbar system for no-till. So couldn't help but stop and talk to everybody. But check this out. Check out how heavy those firming wheels and gauge wheels are. On the no-till drills that we've run, the depth system and the bushings to adjust your depth, as well as your firming and closing wheel pressure, is a super weak link. And something this company's done, which is pretty neat. I don't know a lot about Pillar. You've heard the name and seen them around a little bit, but never really looked at one up close here till today and looking at this show. But super creative engineering, and give credit where credit is due. When you get an engineer a blank slate and say make something strong and that's not going to fail, for a single disc opener drill with a 5 and 7 degree single disc opener, this thing is stout. On the demo model here on the display, check out the pure strength that would be in that depth adjustment. So obviously letters here that'll let you give different pressure to the closing and firming wheel. So super clever design. A lot of cast iron in this drill, and obviously quick change pressure adjustment with it being dual chute, obviously placing the fertilizer deeper in the soil below your seed. But for us as a hay operation, trying to seed more cover crops or grass seed, the way that the opener system and disc work is it's going to spread the seed approximately 1.25 inches across the soil versus keeping it in a very tight, narrow furrow. So for grass, what we're doing, that interests me quite a bit. So check this out. So the profile, sorry, kind of an awkward angle under here, but you can see the profile from the disc is going to place the fertilizer deeper, and then the grass seed, which is these blue seeds here, it's almost going to build a bit of a shelf. And that shelf sounds, from what I can tell, on a dual chute drill, this drill is going to do it a little differently and build a bigger shelf so that those seeds can be spread out and not in a really tight furrow. So super interesting there, and just super interested in just how heavy this thing's built. It's quite impressive. Probably not doing the best job of explaining it here on the fly, trying to do this without a lot of crowd in the background, but definitely going to be reading up on this drill and trying to figure out if it's a candidate for us. Well, there it is, Agri-Trade 2023. Didn't film much today. There wasn't much for no-till drill stuff on display. However, got some pretty good information from that new company Pillar, so we're going to be looking into them and looking into a couple other products. We were hoping that Horsch might have had some more product literature on the Avatar here, but they just had their sprayer and stuff on display. So we have that, and Bednar and Amzone all gave us some pretty neat information, so we'll be hopefully seeing them in Agri-Trade. Oh, would you look at that? Sun's going down, and we're gonna bobtail Kenny all the way back to Noble Equipment's yard, where we left the trailer for the afternoon. Let's go home. That's gonna make it interesting. Well, we got her unloaded just barely. Pretty excited to see the tire size here. So a 460 70/24 versus the new one. The new one's got bigger rubber on it. It's going up a frame size. The bigger rubber actually interests me quite a bit because maybe the ride quality in the field. So this one here, we're up to now 570. So up a frame size and up a tire size. So remember how I've been talking about winter's coming? She's here. I'm gonna be a little self-conscious about this next maneuver, and I'm gonna go ahead and not film me driving this thing up onto the step deck trailer. It is icy. We drove up here this morning in freezing rain and snow, and there seems to be a layer of ice on the highway, and now there's a layer of ice on my truck, and there's a 1/4 inch ice on this trailer, so I am gonna go ahead and not film this for obvious reasons. That's all, folks. Morning, guys. Late night. Got home last night from Agri-Trade up in Red Deer, Alberta, and now we're off. We're off to Agritechnica. I was kind of joking in the morning there in yesterday's part of the video that we would be, you know, having a roller coaster of emotions maybe about, you know, dropping off that telehandler. I hate to see that thing go. It's sad that it's not here, and don't mean to make a joke about that anymore, because the day actually did end up on a sad note. While we were at the show, we learned news that at a different dealership, not Noble Equipment Chains, one of our favorite parts guys, Wayne, had passed away recently, a few days ago. That's no joke, you know. Here we are, just struggling with farming ain't being easy, and all the other tribulations we have and everything going on, and it's really sad when somebody's lost too soon. Wayne, we're gonna miss you. You set the bar so high in everything that you did, dealing with parts and keeping us up and running. We always looked forward to when you answered the phone, when you were at the parts desk. I know, you know, you were a parts manager, but you took a lot of our phone calls and helped us out any way you could. So you're actually one of the first guys in the supply chain of everything that we do here that I established a relationship with when I first started commercially farming. So that goes back a while now, and you're gonna be missed, Wayne. Rest in peace. We're gonna miss you. Almost forgot here, heading away on the trip. Heading to Agritechnica, and I need to get some horse bales put aside for my wife so she can be feeding while I'm away. And I'm heading to Calgary today to grab some last few missing things I need. And we're gonna put aside a couple bales, but while I go, our friends over at NoTill are gonna do some hay samples for us. The hay was such poor quality this year that I'm concerned that we have too much alfalfa content just for these horses that we run. So I'm just gonna send these into the lab. I'm already going to Calgary, so I might as well take some core samples and send them to the lab. Interesting part about that is I'm also gonna take a sample from a silage bale that I put aside, more as a test, just to give the comparison of a high alfalfa bale to one of these oat silage bales that we put up. So I'll take some core samples and get going to town. So there we go. We got 2 bags of grass, different hay seed, different blend, and different production. Like I say, alfalfa grew a lot better here this year because it was such a dry year and a drought and a deep root system. So the alfalfa took over. So it really threw our ratios of what our hay consistency was kind of out the window. So I'm gonna get these tested here real quick, and my wife will know which ones we're gonna start feeding early in the fall here to the horses while I'm gallivanting around in Germany. I'm starting to wonder, I hope I don't get pulled over heading into the big city here. Ziploc bags of grass on the passenger seat. Would that be considered bad optics? I hope the Royal Canadian Mounted Police believe me on what this actually is. I'm trustworthy, right? Are you guys okay? Oh man. This is my good camera too. Anyway, might have just broke my tripod, but I don't know if you guys picked that up before you took that huge fall off that bin. But as I was coring this, you guys probably saw me core the hay bales. Did you hear how hard that drill had to work to get into this silage bale? That's hilarious. Silage. Off to the big city. Hey everybody, welcome to Germany. I'm gonna throw you right into it here. Picked up a rental car and on the Autobahn, our flights got changed around a little bit and we had to fly to Frankfurt. A couple different connecting flights. Air Canada had to come to the rescue. Our original flight plans got canceled with that other airline. So we flew with Air Canada and had a couple other stopovers in London. Anyway, we're here now and jumped in a rental car and taking it all in. There is a lot of pretty interesting farm fields along these highways. The first shock is how small they are. Some as small as probably only a couple acres, but I've been wanting to film and try and show you guys, but at these high speeds on the Autobahn, it only takes about half a second to pass a field, and then you're up against some trees and brush, and again, we're in kind of a hilly area. So anyways, we're here, we're heading over to Hanover to head into Agritechnica tomorrow. So if anyone's ever been on the Autobahn, these cars are traveling fast. 100 kilometers an hour is slow. You better be in the right lane, but there's cars that are easily doing 200 or more kilometers an hour. The interesting thing though, we weren't on this road very long, and obviously there's a lot of BMW and Audi and Volkswagen vehicles, but it was kind of funny how in the first 5 to 10 minutes, a Chevrolet Corvette went flying by us on the Autobahn. So to see a domestic vehicle within only a few minutes of being on the Autobahn was pretty cool, let alone a brand new C8 Corvette. So stay tuned. Look at what we got here, folks. The Holy Grail.